Alright, we're going to continue looking at simplifying rational expressions. First one here, we have x squared minus 25 over x squared minus 10x plus 25. Again, what we need to do is factor both the numerator and the denominator. So I'm going to start with my numerator, x squared minus 25. What I'm going to use to factor this is the difference of squares. I know that the square root of x squared would give me x, and I know the square root of 25 is 5. Therefore, the factors of x squared minus 25 would be x minus 5 and x plus 5. These are my factors of x squared minus 25. Now I'm going to go to the bottom denominator, and I'm going to factor x squared minus 10x plus 25. Here I have a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor this. I know that an x times an x will give me the x squared. Now what I need to find are factors of 25 that are also going to add up to a negative 10. In other words, what two numbers can I multiply together to get 25 but are also going to add up to a negative 10? In this case, those two numbers are negative 5 and negative 5. Because negative 5 times negative 5 would give me a positive 25, and a negative 5 plus a negative 5 would add up to a negative 10. Therefore, these are the factors of x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out some common factors. I can cancel out this x minus 5 and this x minus 5. Notice that I cannot cancel out x plus 5 and x minus 5. Those are not the same factors, therefore don't cancel them out. So what I'm left with is x plus 5 as my numerator and x minus 5 as my denominator. Therefore, this is a simplified expression for x squared minus 25 over x squared minus 10x plus 25. Alright, example number 2. We got x plus 4 over x squared plus 3x minus 4. We want to first factor the numerator, but in this case x plus 4 cannot be factored, so I'm going to leave it as x plus 4. Now I'm going to go to the denominator and factor it. Notice that my trinomial has a leading coefficient of 1. Therefore, I'm going to factor this by multiplying x times another x. Now I need to find factors of negative 4 that are also going to add up to a positive 3. In this case, those two numbers are going to be a positive 4 and a negative 1. Notice how 4 times a negative 1 would give me a negative 4, and a positive 4 plus a negative 1 would also add up to a positive 3. Now I'm going to come over here and cancel out some common factors. In this case, those common factors are the x plus 4's. So what I'm left with is a 1 for my numerator and an x minus 1 as my denominator. Therefore, this is the simplified version, or simplified expression, that represents x plus 4 over x squared plus 3x minus 4. Number 3, x squared plus 7x plus 12 over x squared minus 6x minus 27. We're going to begin by factoring the numerator, x squared plus 7x minus plus 12. Notice again my trinomial has a leading coefficient of 1. Therefore, we want to find two things we can multiply together to get that trinomial. We know that x times x will give me the x squared. Now I need to find factors of 12 that are going to add up to 7. In other words, what two numbers can I multiply together to get 12, but they're also going to add up to a 7? In this case, those two numbers are 4 and 3. 4 times 3 gives me 12. 4 plus 3 adds up to 7. I'm going to do the same thing with my denominator. I need to find those factors. We know that x times x is x squared. I need to find factors of negative 27 that are going to add up to a negative 6. Again, what can I multiply together to get negative 27, but they're also going to add up to a negative 6? In this case, those numbers are negative 9, positive 3. Negative 9 times positive 3 gives me a negative 27. And a negative 9 plus 3 are going to add up to a positive 6. Now I can come over and cancel out common factors. I can cancel out my x plus 3's, and I'm left with a x plus 4 for my numerator and an x minus 9 for my denominator. Therefore, this is my final answer.